to United States. This is the second leg of his visit in New York, and he's just addressed the UN to give a sense of his visit so far, and particularly focusing on today morning's speech address to the United Nations General Assembly. We have the privilege here of having with us Shri Harshvardhan Shringla, Foreign Secretary of India. Also joining us are Shri T.S. Tirumurthy, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of India to the United Nations in New York, and also Mr. Prakash Gupta, Joint Secretary looking after United Nations in the Ministry of External Affairs. I would request Foreign Secretary Sir to say a brief opening remarks, and then we'll take a few questions. Please do note, Prime Minister will be leaving New York shortly after this, so we may be a little tight in questions. I see some people already raising hands. Please hold on while his opening remark. Oh, okay. Okay. Please, sir, you have the floor.
Thank you, Anandam, and I want to thank our Ambassador, Permanent Representative, joining us also. Namaskar and good morning. As you're aware, the Prime Minister just addressed the high-level segment of the 76th United Nations General Assembly. This is on the theme of the General Assembly's debate, which is building resilience through hope to recovery from COVID-19, rebuild sustainably, respond to the needs of the planet, respect the rights of people, and revitalize the United Nations. Prior to his address, the Prime Minister was greeted by the President of the General Assembly, Mr. Abdullah Shahid. You would recall that the President of the General Assembly visited India on the 21st of August, on the 24th of July, and he had at that time called on the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, when he met the President of the General Assembly after he assumed office, he has just assumed office recently, congratulated him on his presidency of hope. The message of the Prime Minister was very well received, his congratulatory message, and I am told that there was very positive resonance on this concept of the presidency of hope. You are aware that the Prime Minister's address to the General Assembly marks the culmination of a very successful, a very comprehensive tour of the United States. The Prime Minister was in Washington, D.C., where he held a bilateral meeting with the U.S. President, President Joe Biden. He also met Vice President Kamala Harris. He participated in the meeting of the Quad Leaders Summit, which was attended by the Prime Ministers of Japan and Australia, hosted by the President of the United States. And he also separately had meetings with his counterparts from Japan and Australia. In Washington, he met a number of CEOs of major U.S. corporates. So all in all, it has been a short but very, very comprehensive, very useful and visit, which allowed for extensive high-level interactions. His address in the United Nations, which you would have heard, has focused on some important themes. The first theme, of course, was that democracies can deliver, democracies have delivered. The Prime Minister spoke about an array of flagship programs and initiatives in India that have delivered very successfully to hundreds of millions of our citizens, whether it is in the aspect of enabling them to enter into the banking sector by allowing people to open bank accounts, whether it is in terms of participating in health schemes that provide for quality health services to a very large number of our people, health insurance, low-cost housing for millions of our citizens, being converted from landless to landowners, as the Prime Minister said. Also, very strong emphasis that the Prime Minister laid on this issue of technology. Technology has delivered for us. We have used technology in very many areas of our developmental activity that has enabled us to reach out to people in all parts of the country, every segment of society. And that, I think, has been a very important message that has been conveyed. He also drew the analogy of our efforts in the health sector. Health is an overriding priority, obviously, in the general discourse in the United Nations at this point of time. The Prime Minister spoke about our use of technology in the health sector, especially with regard to the ability to immunize hundreds of millions of our citizens in the COVID-19, in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, through the CoWIN platform, which is one of the finest, most, I would say, well-conceived digital platforms. You would recall that when CoWIN was introduced to the international community through the CoWIN Global Conclave, 142 countries participated. It has been put as an open source digital platform available to countries around the world. The Prime Minister also spoke about the success of our vaccination program. 800 plus million plus of our citizens have already received vaccination doses. We are looking at accelerating this, and the Prime Minister emphasized the fact that the success of this entire enterprise was also based on the organizational aspect of it, including CoWIN, of course. And of course, the fact that we have today come out with cutting-edge technologies. We have our indigenous vaccines. We also have developed a DNA vaccine, which will be introduced for children, which is a touch vaccine. We have come up with mRNA technology. So we are also at the cutting edge of vaccine development. And Prime Minister referred to India as a manufacturing hub for vaccines for the entire world. In that context, of course, he spoke of the fact that we had announced our decision to again recommence exports of vaccines from month of October. Again, this is extremely well received in the UN and the international community. The Prime Minister spoke of global value chains in the context of Atmanirbhar Bharat, resilient supply chains that we are developing. Important emphasis was given on climate change, in which the Prime Minister pointed out that we ourselves had unilaterally gone in for a 450 gigawatt target by 2030. We were ahead in terms of meeting our expectations in the Paris Agreement, and that if we were to look at the gains that we would make in addressing the issue of climate change, it is because we have to answer the future generations. And the Prime Minister pointed out that it was important for us to ensure that we do the right thing now, so that our future generations don't question the fact that we hadn't done enough to make our planet both sustainable environmentally and something that is enduring. I think, again, when you talk about technology, the Prime Minister talked about science-based rational thinking applied to development. I think that is an important factor, that science and technology have dictated how we can best provide our development gains to as many of our people as possible, as effectively and as cost-effectively as possible also. And he also talked about, from that point of view, the development of incubators, a startup culture, the importance and promise of innovation among the youth of India, the development of satellites, 75 satellites to commemorate our 75th anniversary of independence. On international issues, you would have noticed the Prime Minister referred to the most pressing issue of today again, which is the topic of conversation of almost every head of state and government that has spoken at the United Nations, the situation in Afghanistan. He said that countries using terrorism as a tool should note that this is a double-edged sword. I think that's a very important point to make, that you cannot think of encouragement to terrorism, because that can come back to bite you. In the context of Afghanistan, the Prime Minister referred to the fact that the plight of women, children, minorities should not be forgotten, that these basic human rights of people of Afghanistan are important. They need the help of the international community, and it was incumbent on the international community to come forward to speak in one voice on some of these issues that are important to all of us. The Prime Minister did speak about the fact that we shouldn't abuse our natural resources. This is a legacy for the future. This is a trusteeship of nature that has been bestowed on us, that our culture does Indian culture and ethos is one that is close to nature, that we live in harmony with nature, and that is something that's important in today's context of dealing with climate change, dealing with some of the environmental issues that we face globally. He also spoke about the UN Security Council, in particular our contribution to the issue of maritime security in the UN Security Council. As you know, we held the presidency of the Security Council, a very successful presidency. Our permanent representative has to take a great amount of that credit for a presidency that outlined and shaped thinking in many new areas. The highlight of which was the Prime Minister's chairing the open debate to the Security Council on the issue of maritime security. This is the first time an Indian Prime Minister has chaired a meeting of the UN Security Council. It's also the first time India has, or any country for that matter, has successfully steered a UN Security Council debate on the issue of maritime security and come up with an outcome document which today is being referred to by many countries as being the guiding, I would say, principles on this issue. We also, of course, focused on the issue of technology and peacekeeping, the important issue of counterterrorism, and in that context, of course, when we talk about international issues that are important to the global community, the Prime Minister referred to the COVID-19 and its origins, the case of the ease of doing business. I think that's important when we talk about the need for greater investment and technology flows, the issue of good governance. He called upon the UN to provide global order, global law, and global values. I think if you look at the statement, one or two things become apparent. The first, of course, is that India, by its own developmental paradigm and the success of its developmental efforts, is really, in many senses, providing development to the entire world, because we represent 1/6 of humanity. Our development, our progress, our success is the world's success. The second, of course, is the intention to share with the international community our best practices, our experiences, and in that context, the Prime Minister referred to the global common good and the fact that India has always looked to seeing how we could both support and assist the larger global community in whatever we do. And in that context, of course, technology and other issues were important in terms of focus. Of course, when we talk about development, then we talk about several models of development. I did give you some examples in terms of COVID, in terms of vaccine development that can also be successfully shared with the rest of the world. That, I think, was the larger theme of what we spoke about. Of course, the PM's address helped us to project our long-standing and growing credentials as a South-South development partner in the context of the India-UN Development Partnership Fund. Here again, I think important steps have been taken to see how we can work with the UN in an outreach that would enable some of our developmental successes and models that we have evolved within our country to be shared as effective and cost-effective practices that can be adopted elsewhere in the world. Financing for development, our commitment to the idea of global partnership.
तो फॉरेन सेक्रेटरी हर्षवर्धन श्रृंगला को आप सुन रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री द्वारा जो मैसेज दिया गया उसको दोहराते हुए प्रधानमंत्री ने वैक्सीनेशन को लेकर दुनिया को बताया। डीएनए वैक्सीन भारत ने विकसित की है, जिसका जिक्र आपने प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के संबोधन में भी देखा। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी की हाइलाइट्स की अगर बात की जाए तो जिस तरह से भारत द्वारा, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी द्वारा आतंकवाद पर जोरदार प्रहार किया गया और जो मैसेज ऑफ होप की बात की जा रही है, जो आप स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में, टेक्नोलॉजी के क्षेत्र में, वैक्सीनेशन को लेकर भारत द्वारा जो ब्रेक थ्रूज हासिल किए गए, चाहे फिर वो भारत द्वारा डीएनए वैक्सीन डेवलप करना हो जो 12 साल से ज्यादा आयु के किसी को भी लगाई जा सकती है।
Presenting B News app available on Google Play and App Store. Download it now.